Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Daily Dose. My name is Pastor Maddie, Elliot, and I serve as the Executive Director at LutherCrest Bible Camp in Alexandria, Minnesota. And I'm so excited to be joining you this week for the Daily Dose. This week, we're taking our camp theme from summer camp and we're bringing it to you here on the Daily Dose. And our camp theme talks about who God has created us to be. We're calling it Created to Be. And today we are on day 2. I want to tell you a story about a cabin of girls that I was a camp counselor to. Way back when, many eons ago, I was a camp counselor at LutherCrest. And I had this cabin of girls, and they all came from the same church except for one girl. And I knew from the very beginning of the week that we were going to struggle being a tight-knit community because all of these gals were from one town and they all shared stories about homeroom and their mascot and the grocery store that they shared. And this girl was from a completely different town. And she happened to be rather quiet. I could tell right away that she was a little nervous to be with all of these gals from the same community. I could tell that she didn't know how she fit in with the group. She kind of stayed to the side, to the margins, whenever we would do a group activity. In fact, I felt the whole week that I was coaxing her back into the group. It seemed she felt more comfortable on the margins. But as a camp counselor, I knew that building community was one of the missions of not only LutherCrest, but also a mission of the church. Who we are as God's people is people in community, loving God and loving our neighbor. Being in community is who we are. So I wanted to help model how do we live out community even on this small scale at camp. So I kept doing the coaxing. I kept doing the encouragement for the other girls to bring her in. Well, one day it was activity time and all the kids get to go do the activities that they want to do, like swimming or go to the nature room or play frisbee on the hill or maybe go down to arts and crafts. Well, all week long, I noticed this one girl on the margins. She kept trying to follow the gals and do what they were doing and going swimming and being loud and going and playing the games and being loud, and she didn't quite fit in. And here I was coaxing her, yes, go be with those girls. Go try to be loud like them and be kind of cuckoo like all these girls over here. And then she was a good sport about it. She tried her best, and finally it was Wednesday, midway through the week, and I could tell she just was tired and she was just eager to go home. She didn't know how she fit in. And she said, Maddie, I don't really want to go play the games today. I'd rather just go to arts and crafts and kind of just be chill and do my little bracelets and hang out down there. And I said, okay, no problem. And I felt bad. I felt bad for her. She was going to go sit down in arts and crafts. And I felt like, I wish that she would fit in with these girls. And I kept thinking that maybe somehow I had failed her in building community for her. Well, she got down to arts and crafts, and I went to go check on her, after about a half hour or so. And when I got in, I noticed something really amazing. Everyone was sitting pretty silently. There was some music in the background, pretty silently, and they were sitting right next to each other. And by they, I mean she was sitting right next to all the girls in her cabin. They had wondered where she went, so they went and looked for her. They found her in arts and crafts, and they said, hey, can we do bracelets with you? She said, sure, you can do bracelets with me. And they said, will you teach us how to do what you're doing? She said, sure. So for the first time that week, my cabin sat in silence, which was amazing to me. They sat in silence next to each other in parallel play, making bracelets with each other while she got to teach them about her gift, which was pretty creative. So I sat down with them and I got to watch her live into her authentic self. And that's the thing about who we are as God's people. God didn't create us to be someone other than who we are. God created us to be authentic. You are created to be authentic, to be true to yourself. To be true to yourself. See, this gal was true to herself and knowing that she'd rather do something parallel play, sit down and be next to someone than be loud and crazy at the beach or playing frisbee on the hill. And then when she was authentic to herself, she was able to be free and live truly into who God has called her to be. And all of us have those gifts in life, those things that are authentic to us. And God calls us to live into those authentic pieces, those unique pieces of who we are. And so as we close our daily dose for the day, I'll leave you with a piece of scripture that we're talking about at camp this summer, which is that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. Fearfully and wonderfully made to be your authentic self. We'll see you tomorrow.